Sorry.
I have started this year's award season / the Game Awards. I've watched the Game Awards.
We've finished the Game Awards, everyone. We're putting it in the started section. Fucking sue us. You'll be like 50th in line after all the people whose stuff we've actually used. It'll be 49 record labels and then you, so get in line.
The Game Awards, we talked about this last year. I'm bringing it back for this year.
Whoop whoop.
It's the best. It's the best game award show. It's the best award show.
Okay.
There's some others,
but they are worse.
There's probably the Streamers Award.
I feel reluctant agreeing to this because I think the Game Awards could be a lot better, but yes, they are the best.
Tell me why they are the best. For
Why
listeners who
they are the
don't
best?
know, who haven't seen the Game Awards,
okay.
give me a quick rundown of what the Game Awards are and why they're good.
The audience genuinely want to be there.
No, that's a good
one.
They're also not rich, I think, because a lot of them are developers.
They're not crazy Hollywood celebrities.
Yeah.
They just wear normal clothes and are normal people. That's nice.
Except last year.
You're going to interject after everyone?
Absolutely.
I'm trying to help you out.
Last year, the winner of the game of the year, the director of Baldur's Gate 3, came up in a fucking knight's costume. Full steel suit of armor.
It's true, but he's earned it.
Yeah, and then he was kicked off stage within like a minute while giving his speech.
The speeches are, 1, short, and 2, meaningful. Yes, they run through some thank yous, but there's normally something to grab onto in there. We'll talk about this year, one of the funny speeches that happened, that's for sure. What else is good? 3, the stuff in between is good. They have an orchestra. They play a medley of all the games that did really well towards the end.
Yep.
They have different presenters. Oh, my God, the cameos on this thing are crazy. I don't want to spoil anything that happened this year immediately out the gate. I'll leave that to you because it's your section. But interesting people, relevant and interesting people show up to present the awards.
In previous years, we've had Keanu Reeves, Timothy Chalamet.
Zendaya?
I don't know about Zendaya.
I don't think so. I think I made that one up.
We've had, I think Vin Diesel came out at one point.
I believe it.
There was Jordan Peele.
Yes,
from the,
that was a fun one.
His films like Us, and Nope, and
Jordan Peele's Disney Pixar horror film.
An old guy and a kid gets swept up into the sky in their house and just get enveloped by this alien.
Cloud. It's like a 17-minute short film. There's this heartbreaking montage and then just death.
Someone would have had to have made that, right? That must be a thing. No one is...
What? Just
that isn't an original
up with
thought.
The asphalt.
Yeah, it just... The house halfway into the UFO and just blood streaming out. Don't look it up. We can make it ourselves. We'll make money on it.
Okay.
We can make money on it. We'll get validation from others.
They'll be like, yo, clout. But neither of those things are relevant. How are we going to get the clout?
2 years ago, they also have musical performances.
Yep.
2 years ago was a great one. They had both, I believe it was Halsey and Hosier.
Yep. This year, significantly worse.
Some people fucking like those artists. I liked one of them at one point when I was younger.
Huh. Was it Snoop Dogg's son?
It wasn't Snoop Dogg's son.
Snoop Dogg Jr.?
Snoop Pup.
Snoop. I was about to say Snoop Puppy, goddammit. Well done. That's a very good joke.
One major thing that they had that sets the Game Awards apart is that...
It's all ads.
It's all ads, but kind of good.
Kind of.
It's like the reason why people watch the Super Bowl.
Totally.
For the halftime show. Yeah. I think there's sports that go around outside of that. But like in the halftime, there are a bunch of ads.
Yeah.
But these aren't just for random products or insurance or whatever. These are for new games. It's like
all 3 new games. New mobile game, new sci-fi action shooter, and new fantasy RPG. Yeah, all 3 of the games that come out every year just over and over and over again.
Someone's jaded.
And also Fortnite. Fortnite's in there.
It's basically like if the Oscars
did trailers.
Midway through, did a trailer. It's like, oh.
Midway through, please. Okay. It would be like if the Oscars was a 3.5-hour stream of ads occasionally interrupted by an award.
I was going to say, midway through, Christopher Nolan comes up and he's like, hey, by the way, here's this movie that I've been working on for the past 6 months. Here's the first look at it.
Yeah.
You know? It'd be
and
like
then Neil
that.
Druckmann shows up to present fucking, I don't know, best original narrative.
Yeah. He's like, I wrote a good video game one time.
Yeah.
So I'm here to just beef myself
just
up.
hand this statue over.
Yeah.
That's the last point. Great statues.
Really good
That's
statues.
the last thing I will say about
It's
the
like
Game
this-
Awards and why they're good.
It's like this angel. I'm putting my drink down so I can do it. With
Got
his
a big
arms
heavy
like, "Wah!"
base. Yeah. Oh yeah. Like what?
There's a door behind me, so I can't fully do it. But you get what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
The wings.
I get it. I watched
Can you
the Game
describe
Awards.
to the listeners what I'm doing.
Yeah,
Reuben?
Jett's wings are not where they should be, but they should be up behind their shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah, pointing backwards, and then the figure's like leaning forward with their torso, and then the legs are like tilting back the other way to a nice big heavy base.
Exactly.
I want to hold one.
I got a heavy base.
Can I leave that right there anyway?
That's the only bit about my statue intimidation that was accurate.
Righto, so what happened at this year's Game Awards, Jett?
A lot happened at this year's Game Awards.
We'll summarise.
All right.
I don't have another 3 hours. I came all the way back from Castlemaine to Melbourne just for this event, which I could have watched it because it's streamed digitally. So I came all the way, arguably for nothing. Some would argue.
We had a great time. We
did
did
have a
bingo.
good time. We played bingo and I won.
You won
which made
bingo.
it worth it. But just to be clear, if I didn't win bingo, it wouldn't have been worth it.
In the pre-show, I think there was a thing that you seemed to be pretty happy with, which was Slay the Spire 2 was announced.
Looked good. Well, no, we knew about it.
Okay, it was
And we had a
shown.
release date, and they delayed it. So it was a delay. However, still excited. Interesting new art style. What happened to the defect? That's the 4 characters in Slay the Spire. One of them looks to be dead. What's going on? Also, there's a new character. At least one new character is a skeleton guy. Yeah, interesting art changes.
Yeah.
I didn't pause and slow it down and look at any of the cards, but the Reddit's popping off. People are looking at it. Whatever. I'll play it when it's in early access. It's fine.
I look when this came up, I was like, this doesn't look like Slay the Spire because the art style seemed.
I was like, shut up, stop vacuuming.
Yeah.
This is Slay the Spire 2.
I'm like, it's a pre-show. It's a pre-show. It's fine.
And then you sat down for 3 hours and watched, and I proceeded to not be as interested by any trailer right from Slay the Spire until the very last thing they showed.
Well, right at the start, they had a pretty interesting reveal. Just to let people know, they do frame these new reveals that nobody has seen before as
World premiere. I wanted to do it with you. Why'd you stop?
oh, sorry,
World premiere.
And the first one of those was The Witcher 4.
Oh, that happened. That was a
People
good
fucking
trailer.
love The Witcher. I've played some of The Witcher 3.
Yeah, and?
It's one that I've quit and haven't gone back to.
Oh, you're
And
giving up? It says right here on the sticky note from the other week, giving up. You
Well,
giving
I
up?
decided to give up on Red Dead Redemption.
You're giving
I'm gonna
up?
see how that goes, and
This
then
is
I might give
another
up
big,
on it.
like, immersive, story-focused RPG.
And that's
giving
why I
up?
think I've kind of given up.
Oh, you've given up. Very good. I just wanted to
You
hear you
see.
say it.
The Witcher 4, though, doesn't have Geralt as the main character. Maybe Geralt dies at the end of Witcher 3. I don't know. I really haven't played it. I could have spoiled it just then. I genuinely don't know.
Sorry.
It would be wild if he did and I haven't heard of that.
Yeah.
But, Siri?
I keep thinking Siri, but then I just think I'm thinking of the lady from, not my phone. I know what you thought I was going to say. From Jedi Survivor.
Google.
Who's called Seer. C-E-R-E. So I don't know anymore.
I don't know.
Witcher lady.
But she's cool.
Yeah.
I like her.
Yeah. There seems to be, it's a good trailer. I said, as it played, I would watch this movie. But will I play that game? No.
Until it gets really good reviews.
We'll see.
Then
Then I have to start it with The Witcher 1.
we also had Elden Ring dropped a new standalone game
Just
called Elden Ring Night Rain.
unstoppable. They're already... Last year, they freaking almost won the Game of the Year. This year, they were eligible again with a DLC.
Yeah.
And at this year's Game Awards, they announced another game. Just chill.
No, they won 2 years ago, didn't they?
Oh, 2 years ago. I
Elden-
thought it was last year and they lost to Baldur's Gate. Oh, was it 2020?
No, 2022.
Yeah.
They won 2022. That was the year that that guy's
Before
reformed
Ragnarok.
Rabbi Bill Clinton, the
got a
Bill
shout
Clinton
out.
kid
Yeah.
was there. Gave his
yeah.
friend
Yeah.
reformed Rabbi Bill Clinton a shout out. Exactly
Yeah.
what you said.
Yeah, well, I said. Perfectly normal thing to happen at the Game Awards.
Sure. That's a new co-op version of Elden Ring.
Yep.
Got a fresh look at Borderlands 4, which
Oh, there's people coming out in stupid suits. We saw a Borderlandser and a Hellraiser, and that was fun.
oh yeah, the Hellraiser one was
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
They also the good folks over at the studio that made Fallout New Vegas and The Outer Worlds is doing The Outer Worlds too.
Worlds 2.
That seems pretty good. I don't know. I haven't played that. But one of the most exciting games I think that was there was from Studio Hazelight, directed by Joseph Fares. Game Awards
Meme.
meme, like stature of just glory. Just
yeah. Yeah. Profit.
Profit is the perfect way to put it. This is the man who, I think it was about 5 years ago, went on the Game Awards and basically broke the internet by saying in his interview with the host, Jeff Keighley, fuck the Oscars.
Yeah, yep.
Not allowed to really swear on this.
He is.
Now, with these years gone by, every time he shows up, he swears. When he was announcing his new game, Split Fiction, which is a 2-player game where you are these two writers, and they both get stuck in this tech simulation of the things that they're writers, and they've pitched their story ideas to this publisher, and the publisher's like, great, the way we test these story ideas is we put you in a simulation of that story to run through it or whatever. And they both accidentally get stuck in the same simulation, and then they basically have to escape because you're not meant to have two people in the same simulation.
Yep.
And the publisher is like, we need to kill them.
I'm going to take their story.
Yeah.
Which in the age of AI, I think, is a great villain. Just a guy who wants to steal art.
I think it's a really great, and I said this at the time, it seems like a reflection of the games industry where it's like, just make money, just extrapolate the stories and run them through a simulation. And if the computer says that it's good, then we'll run it. It doesn't matter if it actually resonates with people or whatever.
So Joseph is like this, very renowned guy. Is kind of inseparably a part of what the Game Awards stands for, but he's also a bit of a rebel, a bit of a pariah. So it makes him this kind of heretic prophet sort of role. Anyway, what else you got?
Those are very interesting words you chose to use there.
Thank you. Let's see if it's a call forward.
A sequel to the video game Okami was announced. This one had a big buzz. A lot of people were like, whoa!
That's the other thing. You can hear the audience during the trailers.
Which is pretty cool.
We also had the comments up.
We did. Absolutely useless. Wish
Unreadable.
we didn't have them.
Made my headache twice as bad.
Okami, I've never played the original, but it seems pretty good. People like it. I don't have the name in front of it here.
It's just called Okami 2 or it had a weird name like Okami Again or something.
I think it was maybe just Okami Sequel.
That was it, Okami Sequel. I remember thinking that's a funny way of putting that.
No, this other game is codenamed Project Robot, and it is Fumito Ueda's next game. Fumito Ueda was the person who directed Shadow of the Colossus. Eco.
Climb a monster, stab it.
Yeah, exactly.
Eco, climb not a monster, don't stab it?
I haven't played Eco. Climb things while holding a friend's hand.
Nice.
And then there was the other one, which was Guardian, the Last Guardian. Yep. This one looked interesting. It was a guy climbing into a big robot's head.
Oh, this trailer was sick.
And then
it was like a countdown.
The head
mystery.
Just was an escape pod?
Yeah.
And a big tsunami of
big purple shockwave.
Yeah, killed the rest of the robot. Who knows what that's going to be?
Yeah, it was sick.
Who knows what that's going to be?
I'll never play it.
What else happened?
Well, I assume you don't want to talk about the things that happened at the end yet.
No, not yet.
The Balatro won for a couple of things, including best...
Yeah, we can go through the wins.
Nah, people can look them up.
No, we can go through them. You just started. You just started.
Well, let's go through the interesting ones.
Okay,
no one cares
Balatro,
about best content creator or whatever.
Has some people care about that.
No one cares about that.
We were in the running.
Were we?
Very low down the list.
I reckon.
Balatro is a card game from a guy who it's like a poker style card game from a guy who's never played a game of poker in his life.
Yeah.
Best adaptation was an interesting one because
yes,
that
good year
included
for adaptations.
We had Arcane, Fallout, Knuckles, Like a Dragon, and Tomb Raider: The Legend of Lara Croft.
So 2 good things and 3 things that are fine.
Went to Fallout. I think Arcane should have won mainly because I've heard more people talking about it, but I've also...
Arcane also came out pretty recently, and so I think that had an effect on who got to vote for what. I said this to you at the time, and I'll be brief with this joke, but I love that Todd Howard poured 5 years and his heart and soul into making Starfield, the brand new big open world Bethesda generative fucking game, and that everything that he celebrated this year at the Game Awards was Fallout related, and he had to come crawling back. I think that's hilarious.
I think it's pretty funny. And he already, it's really flipped because before the Fallout TV show came out, the last Fallout thing was Fallout 76, which everyone hates. It destroyed the name of Fallout.
Yeah.
They were not in a good spot. They didn't have Skyrim to lean back on, really.
You can't release it again.
No.
It's been 36 times.
Yeah, and Sky, what's the game called? I've literally forgotten.
Fallout?
No, the space one.
Starfield.
Starfield. Is anyone still playing? Like, I
think people are naming their space games boring things. Imagine if there was a game called fucking, I don't know, Intergalactic. That'd be lame.
That'd be sick.
That'd be lame.
Helldivers 2 did win Best Multiplayer. I'm just running through some of the awards here.
Yeah.
Best Sim/strategy went to Frostpunk 2.
Yep. I was excited about that because I think the Frostpunk games are great. What won Games for Change? I always think that's good to acknowledge, even though I've never heard of any of them. It was Neva.
It was Neva.
Yep.
It was Neva.
Yep. What about innovation in accessibility?
Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown.
Love it.
Which I thought deserved to win, mainly because it's the only one in the list that I had heard had been doing things for accessibility.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have a really good competition between games. A couple of years ago when it was like Spider-Man 2, and then I think even did Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart come out the same year? Maybe it was Miles Morales and Rift Apart.
Yeah, something like that.
But a lot of PlayStation games do a lot for accessibility. So really good to see another game that wasn't PlayStation get acknowledged for that. I don't know. Best score and music went to Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, probably.
I don't know.
People like that. Before we talk about best game direction, player's voice, and game of the year, I want to talk about a couple of things that just happened, like the people coming out and stuff like that.
Okay.
First of all, the Muppets were there. I have to mention it because we mentioned it in the teaser at the start of the episode. Every year, Jeff Keighley, I don't know what relationship he has with like the fucking Jim Henson Company.
Very platonic, I assure you.
But every year he brings a Muppet or two out. And I'm not just talking about the celebrities who show up.
Hey! You were so proud of that one. It's a good joke. Don't get me wrong, it's a good joke.
This year we had what's
the
Muppets version of Bert and Ernie?
Don't look at me.
The two old
guys.
There was
the Three Musketeers, take away one. Fucking the Three Stooges, take away one, make them older. The Ghosts of Christmas Past and Present, not future, they're old. You get it.
They're just heckling Jeff Keighley the whole time. And I think that gave a really interesting vibe to the whole thing.
I think it was lampshading. They kept being like, this is too long and there's too many ads. And we would go, ha ha ha. They addressed it so I can rest in peace. No, fix the problem.
I think that they did fix the problem and they used that to comment on previous years. Because previous years we had very long speeches. We did have long ads.
I reckon.
And we had Jeff Keighley, I don't know, just flubbing up time. It actually pointed the finger at the Game Awards, and it was a really good way to do that. Because this year, from my personal experience and from what I've seen from other people online, is this year felt really refined.
Yeah, it was streamlined. It was their big 10 years.
Yeah.
I think that everyone who gave a speech could see a sniper standing behind the audience pointing a gun at them because they got out of there so quick. Every single one of them.
They did pretty short little speeches, except the Game of the Year. The announcer for the Game of the Year
is the person who won it last year.
Yep. So last year, they did get the wrap-up music very quick. The guy who was in the big suit of armor from Baldur's Gate 3. This year, they seem to have let him have a chance to speak. And because he got a minute and a half maybe. Crazy. This year, they gave him a lot more in his preamble before announcing, and he gave this really heartfelt...
It was great. It was actually one of the best parts of the Game Awards this year.
Yeah. There are a couple of those. There was that when Joseph was talking about it, and when we get to the people who won the Game of the Year. A lot of... It's hard in the game industry right now. There are a lot of layoffs, and there is big money that is cutting costs. If you don't know, during COVID, the game industry got a big monetary injection. So much money went towards it to bolster it up. A bunch of people were hired. Now that's dying off, not because people are less interested in games, but the game industry is like, why have we spent this much? And we're putting so much money into these games that we think are going to build so much profit because they're stacked with monetization.
There's also
and
been
microtransactions.
huge acquisitions. And so then a new company is in charge and they're looking at like 40 dev teams with a half-finished product and going, what if you just stopped?
Yeah.
And we just go with these two big AAA games.
We'll just put you all on Call of Duty or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So people in the game industry are really feeling that right now.
Bad.
So it's cool to have some of the head people say, We do our best work literally as we're getting an award right now. This best work is happening when we have the freedom to play and try new things and a given trust. So that's cool.
There was also a new award this year for, I think it was Game Changers or Change Makers or something.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Which went to someone who was basically setting up a platform for people who are out of work to get work.
Yeah.
In the game industry. Back to the celebrities, though. Back to the people who really matter. Who showed up?
Harrison Ford showed up in the first 10 minutes.
Harrison Ford showed up.
That was fun.
He was reading through the teleprompter and then decided, I've had enough of this, and literally
It was so funny. He just waved it away. He was like, yeah.
Skip on. Who else?
I don't know. Kojima was there.
Oh, Kojima.
But he was just there as an attendee, I think. He didn't even announce anything.
No.
There was the two people who played Dina in the show and that they announced best again, this is I'm going to start again. Often at the Game Awards, someone who represents the team that won the last year presents each award. So that was the case of that. There was the person who had made that game 12 years ago that was still in development. She announced a new thing that opened the start of the next day. Raw something.
I don't remember it, but I trust you.
Remember it. Anyway, she was there. I don't know why you threw this one to me. I don't know anyone in this industry.
Well, I know a couple of people who showed up.
The king. Hope that came through on the mic.
That definitely came through on the mic. Aaron Paul was there with Laura Bailey. Is that correct? Is that the person?
Yes.
Yeah. And they had such flirtatious chemistry.
My God. Woo!
It was palpable.
Is it hot in here or is it just hot in here?
So that was, I don't know. That was a fun time. Their faces were very close. Very close.
Yeah.
And finally, for the people who rocked up, I think we should talk about the musical performances.
Okay.
We had D4VD.
Yep.
We had Royal and the Serpent. We had Snoop Doggy Dogg himself.
And Snoop Pup.
And we had 21 Pilots.
21 Pilots? Have they been in an industrial dispute with Qantas? That joke that I did last time when 21 Pilots came up? Are they 21 pilots that are still striking? They shouldn't be. They get paid the most. There should be 21 I want to see 42 air hostesses. That's who I wanted to see at the Game Awards.
They should get free tickets if you ask me. They've had it too bad for too long. 21 Pilots did a song from Arcane.
Capitalist pigs.
A song from Arcane. And it seemed like the best performance of the night because it was certainly not Snoop Dogg.
Ouch, but fair.
It was so boring.
It was awkward.
The stage wasn't used at all.
There was only 3 of them there.
There was, only a couple of dancers on stage. They were barely moving. They had these cars in the projected on the back screen. Back screen looks pretty cool for the most part. But these cars, they were
bopping weirdly.
It was weird. One of those. The
audience was split
hydraulics.
50-50. Millennials loved it. Everyone older than that was like, what the actual fuck is happening on stage right now?
Everyone younger than that was just laughing at the millennials.
Yep. It's just the millennial laugh sesh, really.
I was really like, just bring cars on the stage. That was my main issue, I think. I was like, if you just brought the cars that you shot and put on the projector, if you just had them really there, then you would take up a bit more square footage.
Wouldn't have fixed it for me, but I'm glad that you're so passionate.
I should be in charge of stage direction at the Game Awards.
You could do that.
I could do that.
You could do that.
Let's get
stand up.
Let's get in contact with
Jeff Keighley.
So
he's probably already planning the next ones.
Do you think it would be easier to get in touch with Jeff Keighley or the Jim Henson Company?
Jim Henson Company.
Okay.
Yeah, there's more of them.
The puppets?
Yeah.
Muppets.
Unbelievable rudeness.
Should we talk about, speaking of children's little characters, should we talk about the game that won?
Oh, sure.
The game of the year.
Yeah, let's.
A game that I personally talked about on this podcast.
A game that you talked about on this podcast on an episode that I will tell you about in a moment, but you go ahead.
Astrobot. Astrobot won game of the year. Fuck yeah. Shout out to Team Asobi. It's a great game.
Big surprise.
I can't tell if that's sarcastic or not.
No, we all knew it was going to win. Doesn't mean it doesn't deserve it.
It's, beautiful. Hearing the score again during the big game of the year medley. For context, the other people up for Game of the Year was Astrobot Balatro, Black Myth, Wukong, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree, the DLC, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor ReFantasio. Oh, and I did promise earlier that I'd say who the player's voice was. Player's voice went to Black Myth. Wukong, Best Game Direction also went to Astrobot. Astrobot won like 4 or 5.
Yeah, at least 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you go to episode 56 and you go to 17 minutes and 55, you can hear Jett talk about Astrobot for half an hour.
But listen to keep listening to
But don't
this.
go there yet.
Don't go there yet.
Go here.
Finish listening to this.
Then go to next week's episode, the Oscars, because it's a big fun end of year. I know that you listen late. I know that it's at least past Christmas now. It's at least it's in fact it's 2025 as you're listening to this. I can tell. And then go back to episode 56.
Yes, do those
Because it's old
things.
news. Yeah.
I really liked that in the speech for this one, the director said, "We're really inspired by a lot of things, but we really love platformers, and we love that platformers are acknowledged by this, and probably the best platformer ever, other than the games company that inspired us the most, was a little one that started way back before us, maybe before PlayStation, but we're not going to legally name them, but they had a little plumber man who was loved to jump." Anyways, shout out them. Probably our biggest competitor in the game industry now that Microsoft's fucking flubbed Xbox.
Good stuff.
That was really good stuff.
That was funny. Yeah.
Do you agree with the Game of the Year decision?
I don't know. It was inevitable. It's like being like, do you agree with death? It's like, well, maybe I'd rather that wasn't the outcome, but I'm not going to fight it too hard. I mean, I can stop my own involvement with it as much as possible, but Astrobot's coming for us all in the end.
Something we didn't know was coming for us was just before Game of the Year. And this is the last thing we'll talk about for the
Not gonna lie,
Game Awards.
took the wind out of the Game of the Year award for me. I was like, I'm thinking about the previous thing.
A game was announced. Jeff Keighley said this is our last world premiere. It's from a legacy studio. And the trailer starts and bam, we're in space. We're in a spaceship branded Porsche. It's a Porsche red spaceship.
Porsche spaceship.
The character, they're playing CDs on a Sony CD thing. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like a
rack that comes out and goes tick, 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 tick.
What are those things? Like
CD
a jukebox.
player.
It's a CD jukebox.
Sure.
And then we see another brand. I think it's Adidas on the sneakers or something.
Yep.
And I'm like, damn, this is product placement heavy, but man, does it look pretty. And we find out it's a little studio by the name of Naughty Dog. Making a new game.
I think this is so interesting because almost every other trailer they've ever released has gone PlayStation, Naughty Dog, trailer, right? They're very happy to tell you who they are and then let you guess what the game is. This occasion, none of that till the end. And this trailer's like 4.5 minutes.
And it hypes you up when it does do it too, because it's like from the studio that brought you Crash Bandicoot, hype. Jack and Daxter. Jack and Daxter reference, hype, even more hype. Uncharted, yeah, still cool, I guess. The Last of Us,
Hype,
you're
huge
losing
hype.
me.
Wow!
I'm kidding. keep your dogs down.
Oh, I'll keep my dogs down for that. And I'll keep your dogs down. And I'll keep everyone's fucking dogs on the goddamn ground, 6 feet under it. Who let the dogs out? Who? That's the callback.
Yeah, it's good. You're asking because you want to hunt them down because you're so obsessed with The Last of Us.
I'm just doing a callback so that we have to keep it in so that you can't cut this bit out.
Okay, great. So glad.
Because I just apparently really want to be celebrated as a dog killer. Anyway, I've taken the wind out of your sails so much. Please continue to tell us about this game that we definitely haven't said the name of multiple times in this episode.
This game is for eagle-eared listeners. Is called
Eagle-eared? How good are eagle's ears?
Pretty good. Let me say the thing. Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet. Big fan of this title. Can you hear me smacking the post? Goose
I can hear you smacking the post.
This is a great title. Reason one.
Okay, oh my God.
It reminds me of Jack and Daxter.
Yep. The precursor
legacy.
Yep.
And that just gave me good vibes for the rest of the rest of the trailer. It kind of looks like it. It's kind of futuristic. There's this ancient text that they use. Remind me of them using the precursor language in the Jack and Daxter games. This is Neil Druckmann directing this one, so that's kind of fun. It looks cool. There's a big laser sword. And also, is it Kamal Nanjiani?
It is.
Shout out that guy.
Yep.
Shout out me for remembering that name, but couldn't remember it. I was just like, that's the guy from Eternals. The guy in the photo pin on the pinboard. That's the guy from Eternals.
Brian Tyree Henry?
No, the comedian one, the funny one. Brian Tyree Henry's funny as doesn't matter.
Oh, Kit Harington?
No.
Oh, Mahershala Ali.
What did you think of this trailer?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It kind of
It's
won
really
me.
hot.
I liked how much of it was one shot. I liked the big blown up planet. That reminds me of other big blown up planets that I like. Not the bad ones, not the lame ones. It's fine.
Great.
I'm talking about Jeddah and Scarif and Alderaan. Not all of the other bullshit. It's fine. Now
Let's
I'm
not
mad.
get political
Now
on
I
this
don't like
podcast,
this
thank you.
trailer. No, it was
I
good.
have been
Sick.
listening to the song.
Oh, that's the other thing we didn't say. The freaking soundtrack to this game is by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, no?
Yes. Trent Reznor,
Yeah.
frontman for the Nine Inch Nails?
Yes.
I didn't know
Guy
that.
who did Challenges.
The guy who did Challenges.
Yeah.
That's sick. That's really exciting.
They did Luca Guadagnino's new film Queer as well.
Oh.
Which is
Luca
out.
Guadagnino has a new
He
film.
done 2 in a year, motherfucker. Probably not out here till next year.
Okay, I need to check that out. But
Anyway, it's a good trailer, I guess. Kind of doesn't tell me anything at all, but it's Naughty Dog, so I'll play it.
I think you need to be listening carefully with your
Well,
eagle
I couldn't,
ears.
because
With
we
your
were talking
eagle ears.
over this whole trailer. We were yippity-yapping.
Ruben, if you were using your eagle ears, you'd know that the song that was playing was the song "It's a Sin" by the Pet Shop Boys.
Oh, yo, it's a sin? Oh, no, I'm thinking of Ain't It a Sin.
You're thinking of Ain't It a
I
Sin?
wish it was Ain't It a Sin. Now I'm mad again.
It's a Sin by the Pet Shop Boys. I think it hints at what this whole thing's about.
I bet it does. You know what else I think hints at what this whole thing's about?
What?
The interviews that Neil Druckmann's done with like the New York Times or whatever.
Yeah, that also helps.
Anyway, you have a guess, then I'll have a guess. We'll see who's right.
Oh, I think it's about religion and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's about the faith we place in institutions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's probably based somewhat like The Last of Us 2 was
Yeah.
as well on Neil Druckmann's personal experience as a born Israeli dealing with the war in the Middle East. A lot of his stuff is like, yeah, I grew up
Yep.
within this culture and not seeing the other side or the different side. Like it's what the fucking the WLF and the people in that regular town that what's the
Pittsburgh?
No, the one that they're in The Last of Us.
Boston?
The one that they're in the town where Tommy lives.
Jackson.
Jackson. I knew it was a name. I was going to say like Williamstown.
Williamstown and
The Seraphites, more the
Where's the
Seraphites
Victoria?
versus the WLF
yeah.
and all of that stuff. And this seems, placing faith into a religious institution.
do you think that it's going to be, oh no, look at all these innocent people I murdered again for the 3rd time in a row?
Probably.
Probably.
No, I think it's going to be a
To
different.
be fair, it's a good bait and switch.
I think it's
gonna
gonna
be
be a bit
different.
different.
You think she's going to be right? Everyone else thinks she's wrong, but she's right.
I think that maybe she's separate from it or hasn't engaged with it yet. It isn't a, oh, whoopsie, I killed a bunch of people and maybe I shouldn't have. It's a, oh, I've just found out that this institution that I place trust in is not what I thought it was.
Is she the heretic prophet or is it someone else?
I don't really know what those 3 words together mean. I just think they sound cool.
I think it's Joseph.
I wish we could go back to the time where the institution, where we weren't sure what they were and if we should place trust in them, was just a bunch of fuzzy weasels, fuzzy orange weasels.
Oh, yep. Well done.
Thank you.
Very good. I thought you were talking about the Catholic Church, which it kind of still applies. But anyway, it's also that video game reference you just made.
This song is very much about that.
Is fuzzy weasels offensive enough for the church? I don't feel like it is. I think I should have saved that for something meaner.
This song has the lyrics like, when I look back upon my life, it's always with a sense of shame. I've always been the one to blame. Basically, everything I've ever done, everything I ever do, everything I've ever been, everywhere I'm going to go to, it's a sin. It's all about it's a sin.
Okay.
Really good song. It's been soundtracking my past couple of days.
Sick.
That's all I have to say on the Heretic Prophet.
Beautiful. Beautiful. It's your phone background now. That's fun.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say that too. That one's a little embarrassing.
Oh,
I'm a
sorry.
nerd.
Sorry. Oh, you're a 14-year-old boy.
No.
Oh. It's okay. You're not 14 or a boy anymore. It's okay. You can
good
breathe
point.
easy.
And that's what I think of the Game Awards. Good year.
Good year.
Good year.
Great. Make them shorter. Anyway.
Should you watch the Game Awards? Yes.
Yes.
Watch them now.
fun.
Skip through until you find the best bits.
Yeah. Start and the end.
Watch the old Game Awards.
What? Why?
It's funny Jeff Keighley moments.
Are there?
Watch the bit where that guy last year, that kid came out and said, I dedicate this award to my good friend, the Reformed Rabbi Bill Clinton.
Very good.
And then Jeff Keighley has to just pretend like nothing just happened.
Ah.